žudiką, kuris vlogino savo nusikaltimus ir aš daugiau nelabai žinau. Ok, varom.
We haven't done the part that I'm not looking forward to.
My husband's great. He really is. He's very respectful to me.
Čia, žinot, kadangi pas mane visai nemažai moterų žiūrovių yra, o jos labai mėgsta visus tos murder documentaries ir panašiai, tai kaip tik bus, žinai.
I mean, he spoils me. He takes care of me.
I'm getting pretty close to that time. This is what I got to do. I don't even question it anymore. At this point, I don't know what's going to happen. I may get caught right away. I mean, I could basically be dead in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know. It's all in the chance at this point.
Oh, wow, jis nusiteikęs tiesiog numirt.
Not smoke, oh my gosh.
Though his family didn't yet know it, something was off with Peter Keller. What follows is found footage that just might be some of the most disturbing recordings ever filmed.
Ok, Jesus, o Peter Keller, Viki, trumpai. Nors ne, pala, man gal nereikia spoilintis. Ne, aš nesispoilinsiu, ne, what the fuck, žiūriu.
Documented like a YouTube video, the video diaries Peter created provide a rare glimpse into the mind of a killer and document how something that may have begun as an innocent hobby ultimately manifested as unbelievable cruelty.
Sit there and think about stuff. Think about
Ar čia vienas iš tų? Oh.
The majority of the following
Koks hobis, ar jis vienas iš tų survivalist buvo, kur mes žiūrim tų benamių? Ar...
footage has never been seen before. It has been analyzed by a licensed professional counselor.
Okay. Looks like everything's working. Just checking the camera out. Since it's the first time watching myself, I hate watching myself. It's like, man, that's the way other people see me. So it's gonna take some getting used to. Not used to talking into a camera. Let's see, so here you can look at the trail. There's not much of a trail. I try to keep it as hidden as I can, so other people will stay off of it.
Ok, tai jeigu eini mišku ir pamatai kažkokį keliuk, nu, ne, trail, kaip išsiverčia, blėt, trail. Ne kelio palikta taką, ne, pėdsaką, va, pėdsaką maždaug kažkokius pėdskus, tai nesek jų.
Which has worked so far. It's pretty far out, so nobody's been up here yet. I usually come up with between a 30 and 40 pound pack. Every time I bring a load of something up, I'm actually starting to get a lot up here. Try to make it as easy as I can during the transition time. So far I've got a bed, blow-up bed, mattress, with blankets and pillows and clothes and stuff to keep me comfortable. So we'll see how long I last doing this. I don't know.
Just what exactly Peter was doing in North Bend, Washington isn't yet clear. It's incredibly rare to have self-recorded footage of a killer, and is especially interesting in this case because the scope of Peter's chilling plans could hardly be imagined from the casual conversations he has with the camera.
Basically come up here on the weekends or on a Friday, weekday, whenever the weather permits, or depending on what I'm doing, at least once a week. And I tend to stay up here for about, well, with travel time, probably around 9 hours a day.
9 valandas per dieną iš čia
each time, which is a long time.
When he wasn't traversing the wilderness with his camera and dog, 41-year-old Peter was also a father and a husband.
Hey, Daddy. Okay, I got this face. Because you guys won't let me take that many pictures.
He and his wife Lynette had an 18-year-old daughter named Kayleen, and the three appeared to be a normal, happy family.
Are you videotaping her?
Yep. Let's do a lot of videotape, and then I just cut all the junk out.
However, Peter's mysterious project in the woods would eventually take a terrible toll on his day-to-day life.
Keller.
Ar jis ir ją užmuš?
Alright, so how do you feel, Kayleen?
Ar jis savo šeimą užmušė, ar šiaip žmonės?
Feel different? No?
You don't feel different? You got a new life ahead of you. No more freaking school. Well, high school.
Yeah, you got till tomorrow to get your stuff out of the house. So.
No.
Aš taip tikiuosi, kad ją užmuš.
She's living with us forever. Sorry, Carson. Forever.
Kayleen graduated high school just a few months after her father started recording his videos.
Šis preti, tai tada dar labiau tikiuosi, kad ją užmuš. Dar tikiuosi, kad užmuš ir kankins. Ir dar išprievartaus, kai užmuš. Ką turi Taylor Dexa? Nu, ką dar turi pasakyti? Ką dar turi čiate pasakyti, nu? Murder sest čia? Murder... I don't know. Ką dar galit pasakyti, nu?
Diaries, and was on track to start at Bellevue College in the fall. In addition to her interest in environmental preservation and gaming technology, she also appears to have shared her father's interest in cameras and dabbled in the hobby of videotaping as well.
Can you take a picture of me and sell me on eBay?
I'm so sorry.
What are you doing?
Bill, I could have used your support. I came straight from the airport as soon as I heard.
Yikes.
Come on, go.
Lynette also sometimes used the camera to film videos she uploaded to YouTube.
To OnlyFans.
Hi everyone.
Sorry.
My little puppy's looking outside. Okay, I got a lot of stuff to show you guys that I'm gonna put in.
Gerai, čia labai daug back history, I guess, apie jų tą šeimą, visą tai juos visus užmušė čia. Nes, tipo, ar rodytų tiek? O gal čia nori parodyti tai, kad, nu, nieks įtart negalėjo, ar dar kažką? I'm not sure, kodėl rodo tą šeimą, jeigu jų neužmušė.
And I had so much fun making these too. You guys got a lot of products in here.
I want to first show you. Look at Dino. He just got a haircut.
Ir šuniuką užmušė. 36 minutės video.
I am a very shy person, and doing these videos really helps me open myself because I figure if somebody doesn't want to watch it, then don't watch it. I'm not forcing you to. So these videos really help, and he really helped me.
While Peter worked to refurbish computers,
Gal kokį poveikį padarėte, būtų keista, kaip dokumentikai. Šiaip aš spėčiau, kad, nu, užmušė tiesiog jas visus, kitaip nerodytų. Bet gal dar gali rodyti, kad parodytų, kaip šeima tipo nieko negali tart ir kaip normali šeima, nu ir šiaip naudoja tą footage'ą, kurį jis prifilmavęs. Bet tipo jo, nu, kad paskui parodyti poveikį, abejoju. Žinai, kaip tas teatre, ir kur ten sako, kad tipo, jeigu ginklas yra kažkur padėtas pirmam aktui, jis bus iššautas antram aktui ar kažkaip, tai tipo, būtų pointless tą šeimą tiek rodyti ir tiek dėmesį rodyti ir kokia čia, vat, nu, kokia vat dukra buvo ir viską, tai greičiausiai jie visi mirė.
Lynette struggled with medical issues and as a result wasn't able to work full time.
My husband, a few months ago, went out and bought me this big recliner for my back, and I just now started using it. He's so happy. Usually I just sit on the left seat. I love this chair. He's here. He's supporting me. He takes care of me. Even though I can't go back to work and I'm home in pain all the time, he gave me my scrapbooking room with my dream come true.
She made and sold custom paper flowers and shared her scrapbooking hobby in local fairs to bolster the family's income.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Pretty much this is my anniversary present. I'm so thankful that my husband...
She looks like a sweet woman.
So I could stock up on supplies for me. And I also got some stuff for you guys too. Even my husband was looking at this and was just like, oh my gosh, look at the detail.
From an outside perspective, it appeared that although the family faced challenges, they were sticking together and making things work. But as later events would reveal, all wasn't going as well as it appeared.
Yeah, you can watch me open this thing. This thing's always so heavy.
Koks čia tas hobis, actually?
Works good.
This impressive structure, affectionately nicknamed Camp Keller, was what kept Peter occupied in the woods for so long.
Camp Keller.
Disguised as part of the hillside, The only thing that might give its presence away is a temporary tarp stretched over part of the roof, but Peter took care to conceal that with brush.
This is something I wanted to do probably since I was a teenager, to make a home underground somewhere so I didn't have to live around people.
Ar jisai preperis buvo?
One of my projects today is to take all this wood that I've cut up recently and stack it up, pull it down, so if somebody stumbles out here, it not as noticeable. It's just now I have the means, I'm able to actually pay for it. I've spent a lot of money on this so far, thousands of dollars. Thousands more on guns and other stuff, other hardware I'm gonna need.
Tai va, pirmas ženklas, jeigu turit vyrą ir jisai pradeda miške daryti projektą, kažkokį, nu, žinokit, blogas ženklas.
Everything I can think of.
Jau geriau, jau geriau neturėti vyro, žinokit, ne, jeigu, nežinau.
The bunker was a shocking feat of engineering, considering all of Peter's supplies were either gathered from the forest around him or carried in from his house, which was about an hour's hike away.
This is kind of an outside look.
Aš tiek nesuprantu jo hobio. Ar jis čia preperis, ar čia tiesiog iškeliautojas, nu, tipo, ne iškeliautojas, o tas survivalistas, žinai, kur ten tiesiog miškuose išgyvena. Koks jo tas hobis techniškai čia? Šiaip preperiai bunkeriuose dažniau būna. Ai, nu čia ir bunkerį. Ai, čia ir pasakė, kad bunkerį nori, tai jis dabar kaip ir preperis jau.
He brought enough to set up a kitchenette, complete with an emergency vodka stash.
Jo, jeigu pasaulio pabaiga, tai reikia emergency vodka stash.
The entire complex was powered with a generator, which Peter somehow managed to bring up the mountain. He even went out of his way to engineer a wood-burning stove made out of an inverted metal garbage can. He rigged a chimney to funnel the smoke up and out of the residence. This smoke would ultimately provide a valuable clue as to the camp's location. Other highlights of Peter's stash include multiple 5-gallon buckets, which could not have been easy to move, heavy-duty chains, and a hacksaw. But as impressive as the wilderness construction may be, the question remains as to why Peter built it in the first place.
I just feel like I'm getting knocked back every time financially. My wife is just gonna suck all the money out that I have.
And
oh,
I'm so
wow.
excited because I can actually afford these deals. My husband, he gave me some money to.
Va ir išaiškinom, kodėl jisai žmoną užmušė. Gerai, nėra šansų išgyventi žmonai. Dukra gal. Žmonai nėra šansų išgyventi. Okay. Okay. Oh, man.
To go in here, so I'm like so excited.
All right, I'm getting ready to move one of these big beams in. This thing is pretty heavy. It's soaked with water, which makes them very heavy. Makes it a real...
Let's see. I met him when I was in high school, but I just, wasn't interested. And then I met him again, and he was so sweet, became like best friends. He said one of these days he wanted to get married and have kids, and he asked me what I wanted. And I said, I don't want to get married. So then my sister, we were getting along at the time, she really liked him, and she said, well, you got to just, you're going to regret it if you don't. So I was like, okay.
Tai va, realiai sesė jos kalta, kad jinai mirs. O gal ir sesė užmuš? Tos seserinis žudikas, tai...
He started talking to me about marriage. And I was like, dude, I told you I don't want to get married. Stop pressuring me. We've only officially been together for 3 months. He actually started within a month. And I was just like, no, you got to stop. So finally, a little over 3 months, he asked me to marry him. I was like, of course I'll marry you. And I grabbed the ring and put it on my finger. I was just so excited.
Jesus Christ, God damn it.
That's my story of my husband, who is, you know, who is my husband, who's the love of my life.
At this point, I don't know what's going to happen. I may get caught right away. I mean, I could basically be dead in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know. It's all up to chance at this point. So I don't think anyone knows where I'm at. But if they put it together, who knows? At this point, I have to take that chance. So it's just going to be a...
At this point, I'm up to take that chance. Tai čia tokia jau desperacija, vos ne... Kas čia buvo?
My escape, and that's death. And I'm okay with that. So...
I do have an escape and that's death. Čia skamba kaip visokios jau labai gilios depresijos, kad tipo, Jesus, what the fuck? Nu, mental health, aišku, ten, man atrodo, 99% tų žudikų atveju bus mental health.
I'm getting to the point where...
I don't know.
Just trying to live and pay bills and live as a civilian and go to work.
He's a great guy. He, you know, he stuck around with me. I'm, you know, some guys are kind of leave when you get that, you know, it's part of your vows. But anyways, I don't want to get on to that.
It just freaks me out. It's actually more comfortable for me to think about living out here, robbing banks, pharmacies, just taking what I want for as long as I can. At least it'll be exciting. It won't be boring. And I don't have to worry about Lynette or Kayleen. And everything will be taken care of. It'll just be me.
Peter's complaints are all too common, but could indicate the presence of major depressive disorder. Additionally, Peter is doing a lot of fidgeting in this video, signifying that despite what he's saying out loud, his thoughts might be giving him a lot of anxiety. Perhaps this stems from the fact that, as some of Peter's cryptic comments hint, there's a much darker aspect to his fantasy than he lets on.
I wanted to get a video log in. Done part that I'm not looking forward to. I'm getting pretty close to that time. I'm guessing probably a couple months away, maybe 3. So yeah, I know.
Ar jis nori suvalgyti?
I could either die.
Vienaip ar kitaip.
Then maybe something will happen, or a few days or weeks, or maybe even years. My goal is to make it 10 years, but that's the other hard part. It's either to not care about dying and to still care about the project.
Peter's comment that he wants to survive for 10 years out in the woods complicates an already strange situation even further. He isn't just aiming to leave his day-to-day life and job behind. There are Lynette and Kayleen to think about, and so far, he hasn't shown any interest of bringing them along on his adventure.
What the fuck?
Oh my goodness. You are so sweet, you guys. Sorry I'm whispering. My husband's sleeping and our little doggy's sleeping with him. Last time I was doing a video, I was talking too loud and he woke up and came out here.
Part of me has a hard time even imagining doing what I'm going to do, but as I think about it, I always come up to the same conclusion every time. I'm starting to get more okay with it. Other times I feel like I'm more than ready. I've tried to make it in this world and it just isn't happening. I'm 40 now and I am running out of time.
Midlife crisis? No, jau porą metukų ir laikykitės.
I don't even question it anymore. It just seems like everything makes so much sense now. You know, just the more I've thought about it, the more I understand it. I don't really feel bad about it. It's just the way it is. You know, certain things happen that cause this to happen. So just kind of accepted it and just rolling with it. Well, this is it. Home sweet home.
Amazing home, dude.
Got the lantern going so you can see a
Kur
little
kompas
bit.
ir internetas?
Not a lot. You know, I often wonder if what I'm doing is the right thing.
You wonder?
I think it is.
Pala, jis actually galvoja, kad it's the right thing? Ką tai reiškia jo pasaulyje, jo galvoj? The right thing for him? Ar tipo objektyviai the right thing? Nes, nu, jis turi suprast, kad tipo, jeigu planuoja kažką užmušti, jis net the right thing. Bet nebent čia iš tos prizmės, kad it's the right thing for me, žinai. Ar kažkaip.
These statements, though shocking, actually align with the earlier theory that Peter was suffering from a serious depressive disorder.
You know, as I do this for hour on hour, it's like I just sit there and think about stuff. Think about, like, how did I get so f***ed up?
True.
How did so many things go wrong?
Also true.
I don't think it's all my fault. I think it's more.
Pala, koks apie thinking levels? Kas su jom buvo negerai, nu mes nežinom kaip ir aš nieko nesiskolinau, nieko, tas home math video. Aš nieko nesispolinau, nieko neskaičiau. Pats video tai čia savaitės senumo YouTube, bet kada jis buvo darytas, numatos, kad biškai, man atrodo, senesnis yra, bet neįsivaizduoju, nieko neguglinau, nieko. Žmona 2 gražių dukros beveik užaugusios. Nu jo, bet tu matai, žmona always in pain. Kažkas jai ten yra. Jis išlaiko, tipo, gyvenimas clearly nefulfilling. Aš nežinau apie jo profesiją nelabai nieko. Beje, iš šito kampo jis užneša biškuką į šitą Kevin Spacey biškai. Bet, tipo, tas ir yra tos depresijos visokie ir tokie, jos sunku pamatyti. Ir, tipo, vat apie karjerą jo nieko kol kas lyg nepasakojo. Tai įmanoma, kad, žinai, visiškai unfulfilled. Santykiai, nu, gal ir nebuvo ten idealūs, kaip kad jisai norėjo ar panašiai, arba kaip ten fantazavo ar kaip tikėjosi. Ir, aišku, nemokėjo to pasakyti dėl vienos ar kitos priežasties. Tada, žiūrėk, build-upinas resentmentas po biškį, ten pradedi pykti, nekesti to savo žmonos ar vaiko, dar gal ir vaiką kaltinti pradedi, kad ten tavo gyvenimo planų nieko, nu, kaip čia, nepadėjo, tipo... Jeigu darbo nemėgsti, dar grinai, nu tos gyvenimas nemielas, tipo, žinai, gal šiaip linkęs į depresiją ir tas visas sustiprino. Gal grinai kokia vidutinė amžiaus skaičių, aš nežinau, kada tai būna. Ten 40 metų pradėjo mąstyti apie ten mirtį. Aš nežinau, aš neįsivaizduoju, bet, nu, čia kas gali nuspręsti, ar čia buvo tokie tiesiog dalykai, nes kažkas atsitiko, ar tiesiog gimė žmogus su smegenyse kažkom va tokiu. Čia... Dažnai galvoju apie mirtį, apie tavo tai kasdieną.
Upbringing, family life. I was just too
Same, okay.
Nobody cared.
Pala, kaip jis čia pasakė? Oh. Čia jisai... Tesinys, how did I get so fucked up?
I don't think it's all my fault.
Nemanau, kad viskas mano kaltė, mano auklėjimas, užauginimas, šeima, šeiminis gyvenimas. Wow.
I was just too ugly. Nobody cared. I was just too ugly. Nobody cared.
Wow, I was just too ugly and nobody cared. Jis tokia duoda racionalė. Aišku, čia žinot, nu, kiek verta jo racionalė, kai mes nežinom, kas čia yra, nu ir kas jo galvoj, tipo, viskas čia gali būti post-hoc racionalizacija. Po fakto maždaug.
Peter's recollection of feeling off also supports the depression theory, as it's common for symptoms to emerge during adolescence. Additionally, it's known that individuals with unresolved trauma can become stuck developmentally.
True.
This could very possibly be what happened to Peter, as he previously mentioned that he'd wanted to build a camp like this since he was a teen. If he became emotionally stuck at that point in his life, it could explain his apparent resentment for his family, along with the continued desire to depart from society.
Yeah, basically last year has been really tough on me. I've been coming to terms, realizing just how pathetic I am. And there's just no hope.
Oh, wow.
It's tough. Wasn't interested in anything anymore. Couldn't motivate myself. All I did was work on this. This is the only thing that would make me feel better. But I think I've come to terms with it. Starting to feel better now. I'm not quite sure why exactly. If it's just that I'm getting this further along, or maybe I've just come to terms with what I am.
Tai, kad palengvėjo jam ir jis sako, va dabar nežinau, ar čia dėl to, kad statau tą projektą ar panašiai. Aš girdėjau apie savižudybės čia, ypač kai internete buvo tas Reaguoja, kur nusižudė ir apie tai ten kalbėjo visi. Realiai tas tipo pagerėjimas būna. Visų pirma, kodėl žmonės... Pavyzdžiui, kaip čia? Jeigu žmogus, žinom, kad žmogus, pavyzdžiui, depresijom kokiam ten serga. Ir straglina su tom, žinai. Energijos trūkumas, pastoviai, nenori veikti kažką ir panašiai. Straglina su tuo žmogus, ne? Ir jeigu tiesiog staiga, tarsi iš niekur, jis ir energingas, ir gerai jaučias ir panašiai. Žmonės, tipo, galvoja, jam pagerėjo, zaibis. Bet, tipo, aš tą, kur žiūrėjau, kažką skaičiau, nepamenu dabar, realiai tai yra turbūt didžiausias kaip perspėjamas ženklas, kad žmogus actually gali būti suicidal. Nes kaip jūs smegenyse veikia, kaip tam paaiškino, kad jeigu tu esi kiekvieną dieną, tokioj kančioj maždaug, ir tu matai mirti kaip išsigelbėjimą maždaug, kaip pabaigą tos kančios, kai tu jau ryžtas, sukuri planą, kad jau, šitaip aš išeisiu, tave apima ramybė. Nes tu žinai, kad kančia toj baigsis, tipo, kad viskas toj baigsis, ir tada tau pasidaro daug lengviau. Ir tada žiūrėk, tie žmonės, atrodo ir gali ten funkcionuoti. Tipo, grinai gali funkcionuoti ten ir energijos gal turėti, kažką veikti ir panašiai, nes, taip žino, tipo, kad jau, kad, viskas jau yra data, žinai, diena ir jau, ilgai nebesitęšia. O, žinai, kai jie metai iš metų, kai kurie ten kankinasi, tai jo, bet, tų red flagų ten... Bet šičia toks labiau, matai, pasąmoningas gali būti ir labiau toks, kur specialiai jie patys net nežinotų, kodėl jom ten ir energijos daugiau ir panašiai, bet čia, sakau, aš šitą tik girdėjau, aš skaičiau ir girdėjau, gal Dr. K apie tai kalbėjau, aš nepamenu dabar kur, bet čia buvo, kai Reaguoja nusižudė, sakau, pokalbių daug buvo internete, tai jo, apie tą prisimenu, sužinojau.
Situation. And kind of working through it. I've tried. I always keep going back to the same person I am. I guess it's also because I don't have anything. I never did. No money. My looks are horrible.
My husband actually gave me some money and I was going to go out and buy some.
My looks are horrible.
Jis labai savo looks kritikuoja jau ne pirmą kartą. Oi, Linkin Park jo. Kam tu man numetė dabar linką, aš jo nežiūrėsiu, bet Linkin Park jo buvo irgi keis toks parodytas, kaip neįmanoma pamatyti, tipo, kaip atrodo, kaip ten buvo, man atrodo, prieš savaitę ar prieš kelias dienas rašinėjo ten tą video su žmona ar su kažkuo ten, kur paskui parodė, ir kad atrodo, kad neįmanoma, tipo, žmogus, visiškai neįmanoma niekaip pamatyti, tai jo tą video rodė, tipo.
husband actually gave me some money, and I was going to go out and buy some of these, but I'm going to go buy ink instead. Oh my gosh. So awesome. Sorry, I'm trying not to get too excited because my husband's going to be like, what are you doing?
No personality.
Kodėl šitas juxtaposition yra rodomas, tas kontrastas tarp jo žmonos ir jo, kaip tipo jisai žiūri tą situaciją, tipo žmona džiaugiasi, vat, kad, nu, kaip papasakoja, ar čia jie nori parodyti, kaip žmonai buvo pohui vyras, ar kodėl taip rodo? Kad tipo žmona, nu, vat, mano problemos, man ten nugarą, ką ten jai skauda, man problemos, bet kaip man, nu, tipo, ir, nu, kaip sunku, bet tada mane vat vyras išlaiko, aš galiu savo hobiais užsiimti, aš labai laiminga ir panašiai, ir kad jai tarsi, o kaip, nu, apie vyrą, nu, tipo nieko, ar čia todėl bando parodyti, ar tiesiog čia nėra jokios paslėptos minties, jie tiesiog, nu, tą kontrastą nori parodyti, vat kaip skirtingai jautėsi žmonės. I'm not sure. Nes čia taip įtartinai biškai karpo, nu, editinimas.
I mean, I'm okay with it. It's just I understand now. Very clearly, this is the only thing I have.
Bet nematau, nu, aš tą ir sakau, ar čia...
But, you know, we all
ar čia tame?
Sorry, my dog's being crazy. My husband's probably chasing him around the living room. I know, my husband spoils me. He hates seeing me in pain, so tonight he came home and he gave me another $20 because he knows I'm going to the doctor's tomorrow and he wants me to stop at Michael's and get some more stuff.
Well, it's about 2 weeks before the end. This is going to be my last video, probably before till after that.
Damn.
That's terrible.
I wanted to give some items for my mom and some other items, but I just want to show you this. Psst, Dino. Psst. Sorry, my husband's home. Dino.
Well, it's about 2 weeks before I finally drop out of society and start this project.
Sorry. The cute little puppy, right? So these are the items that are in there now. They're hard plastic. Stop.
Well, it's about 2 weeks before we finally drop out of society, fully commit to this. This is probably going to be my last video till after that.
Here we can see that Peter actually does retakes instead of being fully candid, like other videos suggest. This, along with the comments he's made about his appearance, seem to indicate that Peter cares deeply about how people view him. The retake suggests he's purposely curating how he appears to anyone who views these tapes. He wants to make the best possible impression. Again, this could tie back to major depressive disorder and childhood trauma. Teenagers often act as though they have what's known as an invisible audience, the idea that people are watching them all the time and judging their looks and actions. From what we see in the videos, Peter seems to still be acting like this at age 41. This type of behavior can also be found in individuals with narcissistic tendencies. The question of Peter's intentions would be one of the first mysteries police faced when they became involved in the situation on April 22nd, 2012. It was a quiet day in the mobile home park where the Keller family lived when, seemingly out of nowhere, several neighbors heard what they believed to be an explosion. When they saw flames coming out of the windows of the Keller home, the neighbors summoned the fire department. Firefighters swarmed the home, climbing on top of it, even as the blaze ate through the roof. They had no idea just how seriously they were risking their lives until later. Once the fire was doused and investigators entered the residence, they discovered Peter Keller was nowhere to be found. Iwu spoke with Cindy West, a retired police sergeant who worked on the Keller case, in an exclusive interview.
I was actually the public information officer, and I think it was a weekend, because I was actually heading out of town and I got the phone call. So I turned around, came back into town, and arrived up there in North Bend.
Jo, kaip suprantu, jis norėjo tiesiog nužudyti šeimą ir pasislėpti nuo visuomenės, tipo, grinai tapti suverenų miške gyvenančių. Toks jo planas buvo.
And then the investigation started there, and as the investigation went on, it just snowballed from what the heck happened to wow, this is bigger than I think anybody thought at the start.
For those of you who aren't familiar, a public information officer handles all inquiries about an active case, providing private citizens as well as the media with information that's been approved for release. As such, Cindy was intimately familiar with the inner workings of the Keller case. The day of the fire, tracking down Peter became the police's highest priority. In just a few hours, they located his vehicle parked downtown. The keys were left inside, but there was no evidence as to where he might have gone. When they entered his workplace to ask where Peter might be, all his co-workers could offer was that Peter had already left for the day and had stated that he might be back tomorrow, next week, or possibly never. Police also discovered that Peter had recently withdrawn $6,200 from the family bank account.
Nes šeima dažnai kalta dėl jos jau tas pagal jį, jos kaltina įgės ir šeimą. Ne tik, šiaip čia ir visuomenės nekenčia, ir šeima, family life, ir upbringing savo, kaip jauklė, viską čia kaltina.
Everything suggested that Peter was either in danger, running, or both. For now, police had no idea where he could be hiding. But they weren't clueless for long. Police got lucky when searching Peter's home and unearthed a hard drive containing Peter's video diaries. Combined with what else was discovered in the residence, the investigation went from serious to downright bone-chilling.
Well, before, a while ago, I used to sit here and think, this whole thing is just crazy at times, and then I'd think about it, and it would make sense, and it's like, okay, this is what I got to do.
Peter's decisiveness in this clip, paired with the horrific details of what police had found in the remains of his home, would likely be shocking to even the most seasoned law enforcement official. They were at a complete loss when it came to explaining how and why this had happened. Only time would reveal the haunting truth. When it came to the video entries, they supplied more than just a record of Peter's thoughts. As it turned out, other entries in the video diary and the accompanying photographs would become the key to tracking Peter. Retired Sergeant Cindy West was able to share the creative technique the police ended up using.
They had photographs that Keller had taken on the mountainside as he's constructing this bunker, from nothing's there to a little bit more to a little bit more. In one of the photos, you can see, I couldn't see it, it looked like a power line in the distance. So you're looking off the mountain toward, which would be North Bend, the city. You can barely see this power line and something else. Again, I didn't think it was a power line, but our detective Mike Mellis says, I think that's a power line. I think that down there is probably the city. And then according to these other photos, there's a couple streams nearby. So he does a lot of investigation and says, well, it's got to be in one of these 2 points then. And I'm like, I don't know how he came up with that, but he was exactly right.
Combined with reports of Peter's truck being regularly parked at a specific trailhead, this was enough information for police to start canvassing the area to search for Camp Keller. It took 6 days, but eventually they succeeded. The smoke visible in this footage came from Peter's makeshift chimney and was instrumental in leading the police to Camp Keller. However, rushing in and making an arrest wasn't going to be an option. They had no idea how many people might be inside or what their intentions were. Remember, Peter had been stockpiling weapons and ammunition at home, and thanks to his videos, which were discovered when police reviewed the recordings that were not destroyed in the house fire, they knew he likely had firearms at his camp. Little did they know what else they would uncover. They also knew that there was a chance they could be dealing with a hostage situation. A direct approach could endanger Peter's life if he was being held captive, or spook him if he had hostages of his own. They needed to make whoever was inside come to them.
You guys on the number 3 side, can you get to that window and break it out or throw a gas in there?
Brian, there looks like a slot or a window that's propped open.
Jo, čia panašiau į visokius kitokius disorderius. Kaip ten sakė, gal narcisizmas kažkoks, combined su, nežinau, ten, gal ten, kaip čia, nepatenkinta savim, savo gyvenimu, pasiekimais, gal karjera, šeima, visa aplinka ta. Bet tai nereiškia, kad depresija būtinai, bet tada dar koks nors ten narcisizmo disorderis. Nes, tipo, jeigu tau depresija, ar tu tikrai tokį planą darytum? Ir paskui dar tokį planą darytum, kaip išgyventi tau 10 metų? Nu, nes, tipo, jis sakė toks planas. Čia man biškukai keista. Jeigu tau ten depresija ir panašiai, nu tai gerai, visus užmuši ten pas nušauni. Nu, suprantama. Bet čia ne, jis tiesiog norėjo nuo visuomenės pabėgti. Tada įrašinėjo video. Why? Tas irgi, kaip ir sako, tos, nu, jo, nežinau, čia tokie, keiščiau, vien depresija čia nepaaiškina gal. Net negal, niekaip nepaaiškina vien depresija, čia turėjo būti daugiau, atrodo, bet ką mes ten žinom, žinai. Iš tikrųjų, tai žmona kalta, aišku. Būtų susiradus darbą ir nebūtų, va, čiuvakas žudęs visų jų. O bedarbė kažkokia sėdėjo namie, nesąmonėm užsiminėjo ir pisa protą, viskas aišku. Kaip tai aišku, moteris kalta, what the fuck? Ką mes čia kalbam, blėd?
That's exactly what they decide to do.
Kaip visad,
no? The response team keeps the bunker surrounded in the hopes that the gas canister will drive those inside out of the bunker and straight to the waiting forces. But after about 10 minutes, nothing has changed.
Yeah, it's dissipating finally. The first one you sent in is dissipating. You want me to throw a 98 under the window, the open window where we first gassed?
Throw number to shoot us at.
With the gas canisters having no effect, the team is forced to reconsider their tactics.
For planning purposes, if this gas isn't going to work, we may have the command post try and locate like a wildland fire pump and hose that can pump a large volume of water into this place, Greg. I think we could probably utilize this creek. We just need enough hose and a pumping station to get it, you know, up to where we want it.
We've got new photos showing this bunker may have multiple levels.
Big copy.
This information actually came from Peter directly, and the self-recorded videos that they found in his burned-out house.
Well, this is the end of the day. I'm getting wrapped up, getting ready to leave. I don't know if you can see me, but it's kind of one last look at everything. That's my fireplace, wood stove, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Pretty dark.
Jo, neaišku, kodėl jis viską filmavo čia. Nu, bet tam gali būti įvairių priežasčių, jų smegenyse, žinai. Bet čia grinai panašu, kad nu, tipo, gal palikt po savęs kažką, nežinau, kad tipo, kažkas pamatyti. I don't know. I'm not sure. Jeigu žmogus nieko nepasiekia, žinai, ir underperformino ar panašiai, gal ir norisi jam, vat, kad būtų jo toks pasiekimas kažkoks tipo, ar ne tik, kad pasiekimas, dėmesys tas, nežinau, dėmesio gal didžiulė stoka tokia irgi, I don't know. Kodėl filmavo jo, neįsivaizduoju.
This is where most of my supplies are. Pretty well stocked up. It's my window.
Žiūrim Žudiką, Žudiko vlogus. Jau į pabaigą eina. Jo, sunkiai čia nuspręsti.
Wood stove.
Blemba, aš jums kažkada pasakojau. Jo, kalbėjom apie tai, kad dėmesys yra hell of a drug ir vas, kai tik dabar žiūrėjom čia, kaip tik Destin ir Melino situacija, kur iš esmės dėmesys, plėtų, matai, kiek galingas yra. Tai gal čia dėl to, nu, gal čia didelė priežastis to viso ir buvo. Čiuvakas niekad gyvenime neturėjo dėmesio. Darbas, šeima ten ir panašiai, gal tiesiog negavo dėmesio, gal visą laiką ten jautėsi, kad jo ten needsai yra second nu kaip čia, antri ar trečiailiai, ar ten penktailiai, tokie visokie gal susidėjo ant viršaus kažkokio auklėjimo. I have no idea, tipo, kas gali žmogui taip susisukti, bet jo, tokios dalykose niekada nebūna vienas dalykas. Visą laiką būna labai daug dalykų ignoruojamų per ilgą laiką, tipo, arba, nu, netvarkomų per ilgą laiką. Niekada nebūna tiesiog viena priežastis.
And that pretty much wraps it up for the day.
Finally, police resorted to throwing a grenade towards the bunker. When even an actual explosion failed to get results, police knew that they would have to be the ones to approach. After a full day of besieging the bunker, they decided to break through the roof.
What the fuck?
You might be wondering why a house fire investigation demanded such an extensive response. As a matter of fact, it didn't. After assessing the situation, investigators concluded that they were dealing with arson, but that would all change when they made their way into the home and stumbled upon a disturbing discovery. It wasn't a subtle attempt either. The remains of a red gas can were found melted onto the stove, where it had been placed in a skillet to heat up until it ignited.
Ką reiškia, čia žiūri video pats savo atkreipdamas dėmesį? Ar kažkas pasiūlė? Ką reiškia pats savo atkreipdamas dėmesį? Ką tai reiškia? Žodžiai lietuviškai visiškai nesuprantu, ką tai reiškia. Bet kaip būtų, man kaip ir 9% video pasiūlė. Ar pats sugalvoji žiūrėti šį video, kaip tai gali tą reikšti? Kad aš atkreipiau dėmesį į video ir pats savo nusprendžiu pažiūrėti, tai gerai. Bet kaip būtų, kaip ir didžiodama video, man šitą pasiūlė Discord'e, nu nepasiūlė Discord'e numetėt kažkas jo. Ne. Ai ne, draugė Facebook'e man numetė linką. Jo.
Police found several other gas cans throughout the residence, boxes of ammunition, and a homemade explosive device. Investigators could only assume it was meant to be triggered by the fire in order to destroy the house and everything inside. Had the fire team arrived just a few moments later, it could have gone off while they were on the roof, potentially costing them their lives. Police believed that this evidence was meant to be destroyed in the fire, along with the video diaries, but those items were hardly the most shocking thing they discovered. There were 2 bodies in the bedroom of the Keller home.
Oh, okay, 2 bodies.
Fire. Tragically, the bodies were identified to be those of Annette and Kayleen Keller.
Yep, kaltininkas viso šito. Yep.
Nice. Nice, look at all that smoke, oh my gosh.
Okay, oh no.
Touch this.
Okay.
Because this gets really freaking hot.
It seems that what Peter's video diaries have been hinting at the entire time was killing his own family.
Part of me has a hard time even imagining doing what I'm going to do. But as I think about it, I always come up to the same conclusion every time. I'm starting to get more okay with it.
Retired Sergeant Cindy West was once again willing to share her thoughts on the tragedy.
I don't think either of them knew it was coming. Again, based on the conversations that we had with friends of both of them, it sounded like he was a loving, great husband. So I think they're both blindsided by it. And, you know, I don't know. This case just racks my brain. There's no way
Porą minčių kyla. Tai, kad, nu, jisai, vat, kaip ir žmona atsiliepia, nu, kai jis lepina mane ten ir panašiai. Aš nežinau, kiek gyvenime aš esu susidūręs su žmonėm ir bendravęs, yra pora tipų žmonių iš tos pusės. Tai vieni, kurie, kaip čia, normaliai subalansuoti. Jiem nuoširdžiai rūpi, pavyzdžiui, draugai. Ir kai draugai užpisa, pasakys, kad, nu, užpisi. Lygiai vyrai taip pat, ten, kurie, nu, normaliai subalansuoti bus ten, jeigu jų pana ar kažką daro, nu, ką žiauriai užpisa. Nu, tai pasakys, what the fuck, kad, nu, baig, blet, užpisa. Nu, tipo, nu, yra normalu, reakcija normaliai. Nu, tipo, bet tada yra žmonių tipas, kur dėl vienos ar kitos priežasties jie nepasakys to. Ir arba bijo, kad juos teis, nes buvo taip išmokinti, arba dėl whatever reason, dėl kokia bebūtų priežastis, jie tiesiog nepasakys to. Bet esmė ta, kad tas niekur nedingsta. Ir žmonės galvoja, jo, čia viskas gerai, bet tada bam, tiesiog jie sprogsta. Nu, bet tipo jo, tas emocijų nemokėjimas perdirbti, nu, toks nemokėjimas procesinti emocijų, gal kažkoks toks nepasakymas, jeigu tau kažkas nepatinka ir tada tos problemos niekada neišsisprendžia, žinai, ir lieka. Tai jo, čia visai panašu, kai jis nelabai kažką pasakė kažkada, kad jam negerai yra, nes žmona, nu, kaip parodė, buvo ten oblivious visiškai, kai jam kažkas ten yra, tipo, nu, čia, bet jo, ir, jo, nežinau. Įdomu. Turėjau keletą draugų, kurios, pavyzdžiui, turėjo problemą, pavyzdžiui, su nepasakymu. Kur labai būdavo sunku nepasakyti ir priežastį, nu, žmonėm nepasakyti, ten, jeigu pagalbos prašo, ar šiaip kažko prašo, tipo. Tai, bet, nu, ten buvo iš esmės iš to, kad, nu, nenori nuvilti ir reikia validation iš kitų žmonių, o jeigu tu nuvilsi žmogų ar, nu, neduosi jam, ko jis nori iš tavęs, tai tu jau automatiškai nuvyli, tipo, ir ten toks, nu, psichologinis fucked up dalykas ir tai ėda žmogų, tai tragiškai ėda žmogų, oh my god, kaip ten jo, bet ir tam darbo reikia, kad tą pakeisti, normaliai darbo reikia, nes čia toks, jo, dalykas. Nemokėjimas pasakyti, ne, exactly jo, ką sakiau, aha. Jaučiu, kiekvienas husbandas yra pagalvojęs, kad reikia užlenkti žmoną, jo. Kiek moteris galvoja, kaip būtų gerai šitą užmušti, bet nebūtina realizuoti. Nu, intrusive thoughts, tai visiems yra visokių, jo, čia niekas nekalba, kad tai justifyina, tipo. Bet jo, okei, tas nemokėjimas ir pasakyti ne, ir ta nemokėjimas išreikšti savo emocijų arba procesinti emocijų, tas nedavimas žmonėms žinoti, kai tau nėra, gal viskas gerai, gal tu kažko kitko nori, nu, nesiderėjimas dėl save, žinai, vat, ir galbūt suaštrina. Tipo, tai vėlgi, tai nebus vienintelė priežastis, kodėl žmogus tokį dalyką padaro, aš nemanau taip, bet jeigu žmogus yra linkęs į nu, yra predisposed kažkokiam tokiam dalykui, tada greičiausiai va tas nemokėjimas išreikš savo, nu, nepatenkinto kažko emocijos, jisai gali build upinti, nu, ir padėti vieną dieną, nu, nužudyti kažką, tipo. Aš labai daug contento true crime žiūriu. Oi, mes žinom, nes tu moteris. Ja, palauk, kiek ten, jūs žinot tą statistiką ten, kur Netflixas ar kas ten paskelbė, kad tarp moterų absurdiškai populiarus true crime. Neįtikėtinai populiarus toj demografijai. Nieks kitas, niekur jokioje demografijoje, nebent gal porno, yra tiek populiarus, kaip true crime tarp moterų demografijos. It's fucking insane. Bet aš ant stream nežiūrėjau tos statistikos, aš dabar galvoju, reikėjo rasti, nu, kai jin buvo, reikėjo pažiūrėti, bet anyway. Tai galiu pasakyti, kai žmogus nusprendžia nužudyti kitus, šeimoje, school shooting, viešos šaudynės, tai yra ne ant emocijos, o planuoja, tai pirmiausia yra savižudybė. Jie nori nusižudyti, jie supranta, kad gyvi po šito neliks ir tada žudynės yra arba kerštas, arba nori išgarsėti po mirties, arba nužudo kitus, bet jie nemato nieko gero gyvenime, galvoja. Matai, kol tai yra ta pirmiausia, ta, nu, kaip čia, didžiausia teorija, nu, tipo, ta populiariausia, jisai pasisakė, kad, nu, jo tikslas yra 10 metų miške išgyventi. Tai, nu, arba iš čia random tiesiog tokį įmetė ir panašiai, bet tas man ir sukėlė dvejonių dėl tos motivacijos, kad jis norėjo nusižudyti. Kam tada tiek ruoštis, kam tada bunkerį statyti, kuris ir tada kam sakyti, kad 10 metų nori, žinai, išgyventi ten paskui. Va tas man keistai pasirodė. Bet jo, tą, kad tu parašei, dažniausiai taip ir būna. Jo, bėgus, aš neįsivaizduoju, aš jau, man atrodo, LOLą pažaidęs porą metų, būčiau šaudęs 3 mokyklas, jeigu nemokėčiau su emocijom dylinti, tipo. Kažkiek bent, okay.
It's ever gonna resolve in my brain because you just think, why? Not only did he kill his wife and his daughter, but based on the friends and neighbors, he had this dog that went everywhere with him, hiking or apparently to go build a bunker, you know, for all these years, and he killed the dog too. He was afraid that the dog would give him away.
He killed the dog too?
In the bunker, and so he killed the dog too. again,
jo, va, tas yra keista. Iš vienos pusės suprantu, kad, tipo, nu, visą savo gyvenimą, žinai, užmuši. Be jo, tiksliai, jo, aš atspėjau, aš taigi, jo, aš ir tą sakiau, sakiau, kad jas abi užmuši dar šunį. Holy fuck, jo. Bet, tipo, nežinau, čia kažkas doesn't make iki galo sense. Nes, vat, norėjo net šunį užmušę, galbūt nes bijojo, kad jisai išduos, nu, kur šeimininkas, tipo. Tai jis norėjo išgyventi tada. I don't know. Jis nebenorėjo atsakomybės, o tik ramybės. Jo, tipo, jo, Eva, gal čia rimtai teisiausiai yra, kad jis dėl whatever reason norėjo tiesiog ištrūkti iš rutinos viso darbo, kur šeimą išlaiko ten ir, nu, šeimos, nu, tipo, iš visko. Ir išvaryti gyventi miške vienas. Va čia gal į tą dabar labiau panašiau net. I don't know, čia... Nu, matai, ne, matai, reiškia ne. Jo galvojimo panašu, kad ne. Gal tipo skyrybos, gal, nu, vis tiek vaikas yra, nu, nuo atsakomybės tu nepabėgi tuo atveju, žinai. Čia tu pabėgi nuo atsakomybės, nu, pabėgi nuo visos sistemos iš matricos ištrūksta, jeigu tik, vat, išvarant į bunkerį gyventi, bet tada dar ir užkasant visus iš to praeito gyvenimo, nu, kažkaip nežinau, weird as fuck man čia toks.
No explanation. I mean, I get that he obviously had some sort of
kažko trūksta, kažkokios detalės.
It wasn't hitting the oil with him. But it just makes you shake your head. I've seen a lot of stuff in my career, a lot of bad things. You just shake your head about, you know, sometimes when things happen. But this case really, really got to me.
Cindy shared with us what happened when police finally made entry into Camp Keller. And what they find inside the bunker is even more shocking than anyone expected.
When our
security,
aka SWAT guys, discover the bunker, of course, they surround it, make sure everybody's safe, let everybody know what's going on before they hail to him saying, hey, you know, come on out with your hands up, yada, yada, all that. And it was just a short time after they initially tried to make contact with him that they heard a pop. So they didn't know, did he have an accidental discharge? Was it something else? They didn't know.
When the walls of Camp Keller were finally breached, police discovered that Peter had stayed true to his word and ended his life when faced with capture.
Oh, wow, okay.
Soon after the police surrounded his stronghold. Perhaps this was Peter's...
Nu, vat laikas žodžio, kad nusišaus, nu tai ką mes apie kol ką žinom. Kad buvo pavyzdingas vyras, rūpinos žmona, laikė savo žodžio ir tiesiog turėjo labai blogą žmoną, kuri vat privertė jį. Okay, I'm done. Čia aišku bairis, aš juokauju, gerai, Jesus.
Its only intention all along. He wanted to achieve this teenage fantasy of living out underground in the woods before he died. But he had no end game other than his own death.
Well, the fact that he was found was significant. We were worried what he might do to...
Oi, taip, aš labai moterų nekenčiu, tragiškai.
If he's, you know, brazen enough to kill his wife and his daughter, then what's he going to do to somebody else? But I think there was a sense of relief that it was over, that he had been apprehended, you know, not apprehended, but that he was finished with his crime spree, that nobody else got hurt. There was so much potential for injuries to citizens and all the officers involved that it was definitely a sense of relief.
Tikrai geriausi draugai ne moteris tavo, šadė mandai gerai, gali užsičiaupt nors kartą. Jesus.
The camp was turned over to King County Department of Natural Resources, who eventually destroyed the bunker. Peter's cash hoard was donated to a memorial scholarship established in memory of Lynette and Kayleen.
Žinote, kaip galėjot apsisaugoti, galėjo visi nuo šito serijinio žudiko? Tai jeigu būtų nupirkę kažką iš Yumi.lt, by the way, matot, jis nelaimingas buvo ir todėl užmušė visus. Jeigu jam būtų kas nors nupirkę fucking Primo ar kokį šokoladuką, būtumėm išvengę nelaimės. O šiaip tai mūsų streamo rėmėjai Yumi.lt turi parduotuvės savo fizinės ir internetinė fizinės, man atrodo, Šiauliuose yra Akropolis ir Klaipėdoj, tada yra Kupas Vilniui ir kur dar? Saulės miestas Šiauliuose? Ne, palatai, aš sumaišiau, toj pažiūrėsiu. Reiktų užsirašyti turbūt. Taip, tai Šiauliuose Saulės miestas, o Šiauliai ir Klaipėda dar yra Akropolį. Jo, jie turi parduotuvės, bet yra internete, kur matau, jeigu ten už 20 ar kažkiek eurų perki nemokamai pristato, kažkas ten man čia palinkino. Turi kasdien nuolaidų, mystery box. Čia šito nebuvo. Šito nebuvo. Jie pradėjo naują produktą, mystery box. 35 eurai. Ir gauna tvirties iki 5 eurų. Tai tiesiog čia geras būdas ir sandėlį tipo išsivalyti ir duoti žmonėms daugiau value. Ok, cool. Kalėdinės prekės, jie turi visokių kalendorių ir panašiai, bet jie dar turi ir akcijų, kur be jokio kodo kasdieną visokiom skirtingom prekiam būna nuolaidos ir jos būna didokos visai. Tai va, dabar ta akcija tęsias, kiek man atrodo iki pat kalėdų ten, ar visą mėnesį, nepamenu dabar, kažkur čia rašė liktais. Tai pati geriausia proga dabar būti kečiausiais žmonėm jūsų ten pusbrolių visokių ir panašiai gyvenimuose ir atvežti jiems Primo, Mr. B šokolado ir šiaip kažkokių saldumynų, gerai? Tai va, mūsų streamo rėmėjai jumi.lt. Koks vakaras ilgas, kaip širdį man gelia. Nuskink man jazminą,